What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happen in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, Primal RC has got a teaser popped up. They posted an image on their social media showing a silhouette with the question, this photo. They posted this on their social media saying, what's coming next? And teasers are teasers. Sometimes they're interesting, sometimes they're not. I don't know. They're always kind of fun though. And Primal makes big, fun, crazy monster trucks usually. So maybe it'll be something big, crazy, and fun. Who knows? We'll all wait and see. Primal doesn't do a ton of posting or anything like that. So I imagine that the next thing we'll see will just be whatever this new version is going to be. But if it's cool, we'll circle back and talk about it here on the Scale News. Also, on the teaser front, Redcat had a post up that they've been on this trend for a while. They do this post of guess what's next, and you could win whatever that may be. They've done it for the last few releases. I think they did it for the Redcat Drift car, the Ascent maybe, or COE, one or those. They came out, I guess, about the same time, so could have been either of them. But they've got another one up, so something else new is on the way. If you'd like to go check out their social media, you can do that, and you can guess and maybe win a thing. Speaking of things that are going to be coming out soon, FMS has got a new FCX18 Chevy truck that's going to be coming out. And I ran across this on Fair RC where it was posted up, and I didn't recognize it at first and had to do some quick searching just to see if I just had forgot, didn't recognize, or looked very similar to something else they had just recently released. But no, this evidently is new. FCX18 with this Chevy body. I think, again, they have released trucks that are like this, slightly different, whatever it may be. I can't really tell all of the specs because Fair RC, while they did post this image, there's not many other details. There's no price. There's some color selectors that you can choose to find out more information, but nothing else beyond that. So look for more information on this. FMS has done some teasing of new trucks coming, but mainly for the FCX10, which we already know what it is, but we have seen it, but they're acting like we haven't. You get the deal. FMS has trucks coming. This is a Chevy. There's another Chevy coming. One we know about, one we're not supposed to. If you like Chevy trucks, maybe watch what they're releasing or possibly releasing soon. Artful Dodgers, and in cooperation with Nordic Crawling, have released this new transmission. This is the ULV. And I believe from what their posted said, this is like a new brand as well, not just under Artful Dodgers, although it's on the Artful Dodgers website. Little confusing, but I'm sure it'll all shake out over time. As we've seen in a trend in comp scale cheater trucks, LCG, Sork, not Sork, you figure out the name. We've seen transmissions like this released here in the recent past. These are these tiny, compact transmissions. This one is similar to those in many ways. It's a very simplified gear train, compact standoff style construction made from carbon fiber. And this one is made to be able to be constructed in a number of ways. So you can position the motor in the direction and on the side that is best going to work for whatever build you've got going on. Now, this is a 0% overdrive transmission. The outdrives are shared on a single gear shaft. So any overdrive that you do want is going to have to come from the axle side. Now, on the website, they do have some very helpful graphics. Artful Dodgers does a great job with the presentation, their instructions, things like that. And this is no different than anything else that I've seen from them. They've got fantastic gear ratio charts. They've got very detailed mounting instruction as far as the dimensions of anything that you want to mount this in. They've got the hole patterns, which is also adjustable on this transmission. So you can kind of move the mounting feet around so that you can put them in the optimal orientation for whatever you're building. Pretty cool overall. I like it. $99 for this transmission. And again, check out the details on the website. They did a great job of representing exactly how you can utilize this new piece. For those of you that own the Vanquish VRD platform, whether it be the Carbon or the Stance, if you're looking for a 3D printable rear flatbed option, I put one up on my website where you can go download those files, 3D print one yourself. It's got a flatbed with a little bed cage that goes on top, as well as a body mounting solution in case you're running that, cab only style and you're looking for something to dress up the backside. You can download these files off my website, 3D print them yourself at home, and you've got something that looks different than what you had before. Speaking of the VRD, Brazen Scale also released a new Frontline chassis to go along with their hardline and flatline, but this is a forward skid style build. So this takes the VRD, and if you're using a stubby conversion on the VFD transmission, it will allow you to shift everything forward. That will require you to be running the servo on top of axle mount so that you can get that transmission as far forward as possible. This will of course also require new links since you're shifting that bias of the front and rear link lengths. So you can find all of the details, what's required and what's the differences of this listed on the Brazen Scale website. And also, if you have a VRD and you're looking for winch mounting options, a few have popped up over the last few weeks and wanted to touch base on those. DSM Offroad posted up their new carbon fiber one that mounts to the side plate, gives you a place to mount a standard size winch. Black Diamond Scalers also has two servo winch mounting locations. One is also side mounted and one is rear mounted. Depending on the size of servo that you would like to use for the winch, this may work out better for you in one location or another. I'll link to all of those servo winch mounting options. You can check out which one might work best for you. Flysky finally did the full release of the Noble NB4 Plus. This is an updated or upgraded version of the Noble NB4. Now, this has a new steering wheel. It's got a new removable battery design that kind of goes in the grip portion. I think one of the biggest things that people will appreciate or have mentioned specifically is that it now comes with a much brighter screen. Evidently the screen that previously came in the NB4 could be pretty hard to read in the daylight. They've also upgraded to USB-C versus micro USB. It's got a new UI, some new changeable themes inside, a number of little details. In the link below, there is a list of the feature differences between the two radios, and of course, all of the details of it in general. What isn't listed on the page is the price or the price difference specifically between the two radios. So if you're thinking about shopping for a Noble NB4, maybe wait till all the details, pricing, and availability is posted up on this new version. Axial released a new version of the Capra UTB18, I think. It was posted up as new version, made it onto some of the news sites, posted around, but all of the specs looked the exact same. Now, we have seen this on the FCX24 side as of lately, and they've posted up these V2s, and this one is also now listed as a V2. On the FCX24 side, when we've seen these V2s, there's been some differences of parts as well as the electronics. This one similarly is electronic updates only for the most part. The 2-in-1 ESC that is in there is now branded a Spectrum, pretty much the same unit though as previously used. Now this truck also comes with a battery, and that battery has also been upgraded to a smart battery. It is now one of the Spectrum smart batteries with the IC2 battery connector. With the electronics change inside, you also get the new USB-C style charger that Spectrum has been using. That is of course compatible with this new smart battery that's included, but they're also including an adapter in case you want to charge this battery on a more advanced charger that isn't a smart charger. Beyond that, this is basically the exact same truck. So just labeled as a V2, something that you can pretty much just, brush off in passing. And next in the not really new news category, RC4 Drive released another version of the TF2, but kind of not another version. It's kind of just like the version that they did last again, with a couple of parts different. This is the same square body Chevy that they released in the red version, but they've changed a couple of things, some very minor things, and re-released it, it appears. They sent it out to people. There's a bunch of videos kind of going over details, but still pretty much seem like the same truck. I wanted to go back and find like about how old that platform was. And it's hard to find like the oldest videos on YouTube because they want to just push more new or relevant type thing. But the oldest one I could find after a very brief search was 11 years ago, which really puts into perspective the TF3 because it's disappeared and the 11-year-old version still remains. New this week from Furitek, we've got a 1/18th scale. This is the Katana. Seems like the 1/18th scale stuff has been super popular this year. The small scale stuff in general, price point is good, sale numbers are high. A lot of people like that side of things. It's just surprising to see so many of them, but this goes right along with that. This is labeled as Furitek, but this is basically a Hobby Plus model that's upfitted with Furitek things. This does have a machined aluminum chassis underneath versus just the standard chassis that came with the Hobby Plus stuff. And as you would expect with the Furitek setup, it's got a brushless system underneath. $200 isn't terrible for a brushless RTR 1/18 scale. If you're not competing, the 1/18 scale stuff may be appealing to you as it's just a little bit more capable than the 1/24 scale size. This Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to come join Matt and I for a live stream takeover where we talk mostly about RC things and also a little bit about F1 at the very end only. But if you are an F1 fan, we did start a F1 fantasy league if you'd like to join. Matt and I are both big F1 fans, and if you don't watch Livestream Takeover, you may not know that. But if you'd like to join in on our F1 fantasy league antics, come join it. I'll put a link below to where you can find that. This is episode 300 of the Scale News Update. I've done the intro to this show 300 times. Well, probably not quite 300. I wouldn't have said welcome back on the first one, but close to it anyway. And it kind of snuck up on me. I, saw that it was coming as I was getting there. I was like, oh, it's going to be 300 soon. And I just kind of forgot about it until today. When I saw it, I was like, wow, 300. Seems like I should have done something, planned something, but I didn't. More than anything, I have considered making this the last episode of the Scale News Update. It's probably not going to be, but it's been something I have been considering. And I'm not putting this in the news for a bunch of positive affirmation or anything like that. Just like your parents telling you your childhood dog is slowing down a little. It'll still probably be back next week, but it's been a thought that's been kicking around. I don't know. Maybe I'll catch another wind and we'll make it another 6 years. Sounds like a really long time though. Who would have thought I would have been doing it for almost 6 years already at this point? Every week, man. Even for as well as I have things set up for this show, it is still a tremendous amount of work to get done every week. So I've talked about it here and there, but it's been one of those things that I have been seriously considering. I always enjoy this part of the show where I'm talking about the new things in RC because I like all these things. I love RC, but the work before and the work after this portion of the show really add up. So if and when I do make the decision to take old Yeller out, just don't be crazy shocked. But that does it for this week's bummer topics. For this week's question. Talked about F1 a little bit earlier, being one of the other things that I actually do really enjoy, watching and participating in. What are your enjoyments, hobbies outside of RC? Drop whatever yours are in the comments below. That is actually my favorite part of the Scale News Update, reading the comments and interactions. So keep it up. Much appreciated. As always, I also appreciate you guys for watching the Scale News Update every Tuesday. Hit the like button if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as I get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter?